Hey y'all, how's it going? Time for your weekly fix of disaster dates in my life. Welcome back, thanks for being here. I will give warning on this video that I talk about some very sensitive subjects, such as physical and emotional abuse. So if that is something that is a trigger for you in any type of way, then I recommend maybe not watching this video. With that being said, let's get started. So this video also is going to be a 3-in-1. I have to preface my story with 2 others so you guys can understand why I act the way that I do in my story. Whew. Okay, let's get started with disaster date 93. Preface story number 1. There was a businessman years ago in Shanghai, and he married a local girl here. They had 2 children together. It just wasn't really working for them. She became very emotionally and physically abusive. She stabbed him on multiple occasions, and he realized this is not how I want to live my life. This isn't what I want in a relationship. So he filed for divorce and left, and then he started seeing someone else. When she found out, she wasn't too happy. She broke into his apartment and stabbed him to death in his sleep. He's dead. She gets arrested and goes to jail. The 2 children are now orphans. Her parents, so the maternal grandparents, come down from bumfuck nowhere China, take these children out of their international school. They were living in the Mecca of Shanghai. Take them to this rural village and hold these children for ransom. So the paternal grandparents are like, well, those are our kids too. Those are our grandbabies. The maternal grandparents are saying, well, those are our grandchildren as well, but you can have them for a price. How fucking insane is that? Now, preface story number 2. I know a guy down here. We shall call him Rob. First day that I met Rob, he was distressed. And I said, hey, you okay? What's going on? He said,
well, my girlfriend has given me a curfew every night. We live together. I have to be home by 11 p.m. every night.
Sir, it's 11:30. He was like,
yeah. She gives me warnings in 5-minute increments. So every 5 minutes, she destroys something of mine and sends me a photo of it until I come home.
You know, I'm no expert, but that's not healthy. So I guess the relationship got progressively worse because every time I saw him out, he looked worse and worse, and you could tell that something wasn't right. And it got to the point where he admitted that she was physically abusing him. She broke his grandfather's watch to the point of no repair. She one time invited 11 of her family members to their house because he did something that she didn't like, and they destroyed every single breakable thing in that apartment, plus the silverware. One time he did something she didn't like. She moved out, but she took all of the electronics with her. The Wi-Fi, his gaming consoles, his phone charger, his laptop, everything gone. What? Okay, and it progressed to the point he left her. She realized a few days later the severity of this and how serious he was, and so she called him, ding ding ding, hey, I'm pregnant. Didn't provide a test for proof. She's like,
you don't believe me? I'm just gonna take care of this baby on my own.
And he's a good man, so he moved back in with her. He decided, I'm gonna throw her this amazing surprise party to celebrate our starting of a family. So he invites all of her closest friends, family, everything. They all come down. They don't know what the party's for. He makes a toast and he announces,
we're pregnant!
And all of the faces of her friends and family were like, huh? You're pregnant? Now that's a big red flag. When you get pregnant, I assume that you would go and tell your closest friends and your family. Nobody knew, and so she sat there like, surprise! She tells him, well, now that I'm pregnant, you can come inside me because you can't get pregnant twice, right? So like he's, you know, so he does. And eventually she gets pregnant. Obviously it's months off of when she said it was, but he thinks that this is going to save their relationship. Oh my God, having a baby, she's going to change. She doesn't. She gets progressively worse. She says, if you leave me, you will never see this child again, ever. So she goes to 1 day of therapy and automatically thinks that she's a changed person and she's a new person. She's just done so many things that I even struggle to retell in this video, and I won't. All right, so on to my story. Woo, here we go. Let's call him Herman. Y'all, I gotta stop meeting people at this pub. At this same pub that I've spoken about in my past 2 videos, I would see Herman sat outside on the patio area with his dog. And every time I would see him, he would sometimes be with the same girl, or he would be alone, but he would always have his dog. Like, this dog was huge, he was fluffy, he was so excited to see me, at least I thought, because I was excited and I was like, oh my God! God. I've gotten a lot of criticism as well from telling this story, and it's one of two things. Either one, you saw him with this woman multiple times, you're naive to not think that he was married. Okay. Or two, when I would say, oh, he was probably married when I saw him, they would say, what, men and women can't just be friends? You're being very presumptuous. Like, I can't win. There's no winning in this situation, so, you know, everyone's a critic. So I go to this pub with my friend Grayson, and we go to have dinner. And I see this guy, and he walks in, he stops me, and he's like,
hey, I'm Herman. Sorry, I've never caught your name.
And so we introduce ourselves, and he gets my WeChat. Now, getting your WeChat over here isn't as intimate as getting somebody's phone number, because getting somebody's phone number, you have to take the time, however long that takes, to actually physically put their number in your phone. With WeChat, it's just a blink, scan, done. Okay, see you later. And I want to introduce a method that I came up with. It is the 4-10-4 method. Back home, you could be a 4, whether that's aesthetically or for your personality. You go overseas where there's a very small pool of pickings, and suddenly you become a 10. 10, 10, 10s across the board. But if you go back home, you're still a 4. 4-10-4 method. Wonder if anybody said that about me. My friend told me about this other theory, the polar bear theory. I'm a polar bear. I'm on a sheet of ice. China, dating pool is a small hole in the ice just big enough for my paw to dip on down. Now I can't see what I'm getting. I'm fishing. I'm fishing in there. Sometimes I pick up some shrimp, more often than not. Now shrimp is great, but it doesn't satisfy you for that long. So you go back in. You go back into this hole and you're digging, 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 and sometimes you get a nice salmon. Now that's great. Still doesn't last that long. Now, every once in a while, you get this big, beautiful marlin. It fulfills you for so long, but at the end of the day, it's just a marlin. It's not gonna last forever. I'm a polar bear. I need another polar bear. I'm not gonna find a polar bear fishing around, and here we are, all looking for our polar bears. Back to our original programming. I go to this comedy night with my friend, and I see him there, and he's so excited to see me.
Sit with me, I'll buy you guys drinks all night.
And I'm like, all right, who am I to stop you? The comedy is so bad that I find myself drinking to try to make it more funny. It got to the point where I walked up and left because this comedian, a mediocre man in China, which you find quite often, telling a joke about feminism, and he goes,
what even is feminism? Does anyone even know the definition?
I'm a little tipsy, so I go, the social, political, and economic equality of both men and women. And to which he responds,
I define it as, shut up.
huh, okay. And I got up and left. Lack of equality is funny? Okay, got it. My friend's like,
Okay, look, I'm gonna leave. This isn't great.
I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay because I still have a drink, but good night. It got to the point where me and Herman, we would only hang out whenever we were drinking. And that was it. There was no meaning behind it. It was very on the surface, is what it is. I had asked him as well, are you married? Do you have children? And at first he said no, but then I had heard from my friends that he was. So I told him, look, I know you have kids. I know. They're the background of your phone screen. Don't lie about that. And he was like,
Oh, I thought you meant something else.
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Do you have kids? Oh, I thought you meant, am I gonna pick up peanut butter? Like, what? No. Hello? So he told me about his kids. When I asked him, oh, what do you do for a living? He told me like 4 different stories. He told me that he was the CEO of this company, and then he told me he was the VP of this exporting business. Y'all, he told me so many different stories, but each time I was a little tipsy, so I was like, maybe I heard it wrong the first time. No. So then when I asked him if he was married, he was like,
no, I'm divorced.
so why do you wear a wedding ring on your right hand? Y'all, this was some sort of carats of gold on his right hand, and I was like, why do you wear that? Is it a promise ring? Do you have a wife back home and she's traveling? He's like,
No.
chose to ignore it. That's my own fault. So I also had friends tell me that his wife, apparently ex-wife, paid for his apartment. So I asked him about that too. I was like, so word around the street is your wife is paying for your apartment right now. Is there anybody in your life that's going to be angry about the fact that you and I are seen together here alone at this bar?
No.
Yes, she does pay the rent for the apartment, but I'm working on that.
waiter, can I have another drink, please? Thank you. I was so uncomfortable that night that I drank a little too much than I should have. A lot of too much than I should have. And I mentioned, oh, I'm so hungry. He was like,
let's go get food. There's a really good place near mine.
Did we go get food? No, we just went back to his. There was no food place near his. My bad. My bad. My bad. But I wake up the next morning to a really aggressive knock. The first thought in my mind was, he bought me food. We're a couple hours late. I'm still a little drunk, but he bought me food. So I go to answer the door and there's a woman stood there. I was like, hi, why am I? Like Uber Eats here. And she goes, who the fuck are you? And I could see the fury forming in her eyes, but I wasn't putting two and two together. And I was like, hi, I'm Rachel, who are you? It clicked. I have seen this woman sat with him at the pub before when I went to pet his dog. She storms past me, stomps inside to the bedroom, slams the door. They are yelling at each other. Things are being thrown. Fuck it. My bag is right here. Whatever's left in his room, don't care. I grab my bag, run out. I go down 2 flights of stairs and then go to get on the elevator. I had to preface this story so you guys understand why I ran down the stairs and ran out of there so quickly, because I am not getting involved in that. How humiliating is that? I fucking asked him! What? His wife showed up to the apartment. And then this man has the gall to message me the next day and say,
you are so inconsiderate for leaving in that way. It wasn't what it looked like. Blah, blah, blah.
You brought another girl into her apartment, into y'all's space, y'all's home, and I have the gall? Ooh, okay. It's getting hot. Ooh. Oh my God! I delete him out of my contacts, everything, and I don't speak to him for months until one night I'm out on the town with my friends. This is when the pandemic happened and I saw him. The bars were all shut down because of the pandemic. Only one of them was open, so everybody congregated to this bar. And I see him. He sits down and he apologizes for the way that he acted. And I said, I did leave a couple of important things to me. He said,
actually, I have them in a box. In my new apartment, I live close to you. I've moved out.
She and I are completely done. Come over and you can grab your stuff.
And I said, no, I don't want to come over and grab my stuff. You can meet me somewhere tomorrow and bring them to me. What do? I go back there. I go. But honestly, that's all I did. I went to go grab my stuff. So I had my stuff in one hand. I'm playing with his dog. He goes to grab my face and kiss me. And I was like, bro, what are you doing? No. He was like,
you came back to mine.
And I was like, so that automatically means you can put your hands on me without consent? No. I came here for my stuff. I told you this before we came here. He was like,
yeah, I know you told me that, but I just thought.
And I was like, no. We all know what assumptions make. What? Yes. And as of you and me. He's like,
no, me and this girl are completely done.
I do not trust you. I don't believe you. I don't even know you. Now that I thought about it, we only hung out when we were drunk. There was no meaning behind anything that we were doing. So he comes and brings me the divorce papers, y'all. He presented me with these divorce papers. I looked at the date. It was from his first wife. He's been married twice. I know you've been married twice. Where's the second set?
I'm divorced!
I'm leaving. He's trying to grab me to come back in the apartment. Let me go! And I leave, and I never speak to this man ever again. Oh, yeah. Good times. He would message me occasionally and be like,
I miss you. Baby, please come back to me. Oh, I miss what we had.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, what? We didn't have anything. We had drinks. We had alcohol. Damn. Never spoken to that guy again. He has since moved back to England. Y'all, these Englishmen that I'm picking up in these bars, it's a pattern. He needed help. He went home, and I hope that he's getting the help that he needs now. Not today. Not with me. No. I did not come here on this earth for a sole purpose of being the one to fix you. And if somebody's there not to fix you, it just rationalizes your shitty behavior because, oh, I don't have a woman or a man to fix me. No, that's not how it goes. Whoa, man, okay. Disaster Data compilation 93. Woo! Woo! Sorry, I don't think this one was as funny as the last two, but yeah, giving y'all a little insight into the disaster I call my dating life. So, I do need to work on what I do and do not accept anymore. So it provides good content for y'all. So until next time, see y'all later.